back there. This is Miss Tessa, and today we will continue to focus on our relationship with the earth as we learn about stuff. Now, I'd like you to take a moment and picture your room at home and all the stuff you have in it. Keep your eyes closed as you imagine your stuff and consider how important all your stuff is to you. Can you imagine your room clean and free of all your stuff? How would it feel to give away a bunch of your stuff? Now, finding a home for the unused and unwanted stuff in your room can be a freeing experience. Donating those items to a thrift store or a homeless shelter not only helps you, but it helps others too. With your parents' permission, you can do this loving act of kindness, and you can include a card on each item that you donate that reads, "Sent to a new home with love." Wouldn't that be a great experience? It's such a freeing, like we mentioned, it's a very freeing and kind act to do. So in today's lesson, which is entitled, let me see, where did my lesson go? People are more important than things is the title of our lesson. And our affirmation for today is, I love to take care of my earth home. So I invite you to say it with me a couple of times. I love to take care of my earth home. And then just one more time. I love to take care of my earth home. Okay, so let's see what our story today tells us about our taking care of our earth home. And like I said, it's called People Are More Important Than Things. It was the biggest hole Charlie had ever seen. The hole would eventually become a playroom in the basement of Brenda's house, and upstairs would be a new room for her grandmother. Brenda had invited Charlie over to see the hole before it was covered up. The workmen were really nice. They gave me a bunch of stuff they found in the dirt that had dug out, Brenda said. She took Charlie over to a bucket. Inside the bucket there were odd variety of objects. See, here is an old soda bottle that my dad says is at least 50 years old. And look at this old toy car. Your brother Scotty would like that, Brenda thought. Brenda brought the things out for Charlie to see. Charlie noticed that there was also a cassette tape of a song he didn't even know. 2 keys, a spoon, and a plastic toy snake. Everything was dirty, of course. Brenda went on. There was stuff that I didn't want. It was just trash, like a couple of plastic bottles, candy wrappers, and even an old shoe. It's weird to think about what else could have been buried in my yard. They washed everything off and gave the toy car to Scotty. Brenda's mom told them that man-made things could be underground for a long time and never change. Things made of plastic, metal, and glass may take hundreds or thousands of years to break down. Brenda and Charlie had fun making up stories about the objects lost and eventually buried in the yard by people who lived there generations ago. The child who played with this toy snake probably had grandchildren by now. Charlie asked his friend, "When is your grandma going to move in?" Brenda made a sad face and told Charlie, "I don't know. Her room will be done in a couple of months, but she may never move in. She'd lived in the same big house for 60 years, and she doesn't want to get rid of her stuff. My mom says she may have to be very patient, that we may have to be patient, but sometimes it's hard to understand how stuff can be more important than people." Charlie thought about his uncle who loved to collect motorcycles. He was so attached to his stuff that he wouldn't go with Charlie and his family to Alaska last year. He was too worried about someone stealing his things while he was away. The next Sunday, Brenda was sitting with her parents and her grandmother in church when an announcement was made. The pastor explained that 8 immigrant families from another country were coming to the church. Because of the war in their country, they had to leave everything behind, and now they had nothing. The church was having a big giveaway day to help the families start their new lives here. Brenda's family talked about it later. Brenda tried to imagine leaving everything of her own and everyone she knew behind, maybe forever. Her dad said, They are lucky to be safe and things can be replaced. I bet we can get enough things together to help one of the families get started again." Her mom looked at Brenda and suggested, "The families have kids your age. Brenda, you might think about going through your things and choosing something to contribute." Brenda thought it would be nice to help out, so she spent the afternoon going through her stuff. It turned out to be harder than she thought it would be. Everything she had seemed special in some way, and it was hard to let go. But by dinner, she had a box with a few things that she thought might help. Her mom took the box with a smile and added it to the large load in the back of her dad's pickup truck. Brenda's box looked pretty small in comparison. Her grandmother came over for dinner and added another small box of things to the truck. She and Brenda stood together and watched her dad drove the truck full of stuff away to the church. Brenda showed her grandmother what had been done to the construction of the new room and also showed her the stuff that they found in the dirt. Charlie says that maybe someday a kid will find our stuff all covered in the dirt and they'll wonder who we were. Wouldn't that be strange? Then she moved on to another thought. If you move in, Grandma, could we maybe have a garden together? Having a garden together would be very nice, her grandmother answered thoughtfully. On the day of the big giveaway at church, Brenda and Charlie were helping out tables and getting things ready when Brenda's grandmother walked in with a big smile on her face. Where do you want them to where do you want to upload? She asked. Upload what, Grandma? Brenda asked, a bit puzzled. Charlie stopped working to listen. The truck of stuff I brought for the giveaway, of course, her grandmother said with a grin. There's a moving van outside full of things for these families can use. Let's get it uploaded. Time's wasting. Much later, when Brenda and Charlie were having a cool drink with her grandmother, Brenda asked, so does this mean you're going to move in with us, Grandma? I wouldn't let some stuff keep me from being with you. You don't know people. Don't you know people are more important than things? Grandma answered. Brenda thought about going through her stuff again. There were probably more things she could let go of too. And so that's the end of our story for this week. And so this story, gives us an opportunity to go through the things that we have and to see what, or like I said and mentioned earlier, go through our things again. And what are some of the things that we have not been using, that are just laying around, that can be a gift, like I said earlier, not just to the person receiving it, but a gift to us for freeing up ourselves and sharing, contributing in the gift of giving and receiving. So it was really a pleasure to be here with you today and to enjoy the story and the time we had together, and to continue thinking about the things that we use daily, the people that we get to be with, our loved ones, and just appreciating each other, and the way we take care of ourselves, and the way we take care of the earth, and to take care of everyone that we meet, even strangers. So I really love you and miss you, and so on behalf of everyone, all the teachers, I would like to let you know that we are looking forward to seeing you soon. And so let's close with I'm going to close today with our Magic Penny song. I know I usually start with it, but this week I'm going to close with the Magic Penny song. Love is something when we give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something when we give it away, we end up having more. Just like a magic penny, hold it tight and you wouldn't have any. Lend it, spend it, you'll have so many. It rolls all over the floor. Plop! Love is something when we give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something when we give it away, we end up having more and more and more and more and more. It was a pleasure being here with you. I love you, I honor you, and I behold the Christ in you. Namaste. See you soon. Bye.